Hey guys, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Gamer board game review. Today's game up on the tabletop is called Cursed Court by Atlas Games. It's made by Andrew Hansen and the art is by Lee Moyer. I hope I said that right. For 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 6 players, and it's for ages 14 and up. In Cursed Court, you're going to be playing a bidding and bluffing style game. You're going to be dealt a certain amount of cards, and these cards are going to represent a certain character. Maybe the courtesan, or the assassin, or you got the sorceress, and it's going to be on a board. You're going to know certain cards that are face up only for you, so you can only see them and nobody else can, as well as they're going to be face down cards that your opponents are going to know about. And your objective is to try and bet on the board based on what you think cards are represented in all of the cards that are laid out. Every round another card is going to be dealt face up, so you're going to see that card, but you're always going to be wondering what those face down cards are and where's the best places to score. It's going to be based on where your opponents are betting, because you're going to say, oh, they're betting here. Most likely this character is actually face down in front of them. I have these two, so if I bet here, I'm going to score these points, but will it give them any information to know what my cards are? It's an interesting little bluffing / deduction game. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so here we have Cursed Court and all the components. Well, first of all, this is up to a 6-player game, and so every player is going to have 2 stacks of chips, as well as 4 of these little crown pieces here. We're going to be doing a 4-player variant, though, so we're only going to be using these guys right here. Also, you're going to be getting a deck of playing cards, just as you can see them right here. And right here you see that there are just different types of characters here, which are also represented on the board here. You see here's the 3 different types. There's 6 and 3 more up here, which is 9 total types altogether. You're also going to get this first player token, and then you're going to get the board and all of these little guys here, which represents the score. Everybody's going to start on 0 here. You're going to give out every single player these their chips, as well as all their little crowns here. And then after you've done that, you're going to deal out the cards. And dealing out the cards is going to be based on the number of players playing. In a 2-player game, you're going to give 2 cards to each player, just like that. And then only they get to see these cards. And then you're going to deal out 1 card and the game will begin. But in all the rest of the different variants, it's going to change as well. Now, obviously, the objective is to look and find which cards you know exist. So you know for a fact that you got this girl here, which is the merchant, the duke over here, and then you've got the assassin here. And so you're going to be trying to guess what this opponent has, and in multiple games as well. So I'm going to tell you how the turns work and how betting works as well, and then we'll get back into a 4-player game. Okay, so in the game Cursed Court, there's over 20 different locations you can bet on. You can bet on the characters themselves based on what you think is appearing, and if there's multiples of those types of cards face down, or the ones that you can see, as well as betting on the little spaces around them, which is going to incur cards of equal to 3 or more, 3 or 4 different types of cards. And if at the end of the game those cards represent the bidding locations you have a bid on, then you're going to get points. So obviously if you bid on a 3 location and has those 3 specific cards at the end of the game, you're going to get 3 points and 4 for 4. But when it comes to a single bet on a specific location or a specific character, it's going to be 2 for 2, 2 cards that are going to be face down or face up, 3 for 3, I think. Sorry, 1 for 1, 2 for 2. For 3, it's 5 points, and then for 4, it's going to be 8 points. So those can be even more value, provided there's enough of them face down or hidden around the board, and you know the amount of stuff that the other players don't. In a 4-player game now, also what's really interesting too is every player is going to get a card between him or her and their adjacent player. So nobody's going to have their own card, there's just going to be cards between you. So I would look at the card over here between me and Susie, and I'd look at the card over here between me and Tom. And I'd look at these 2 cards here, I'd put them face down. They would also look at these 2 cards, but then they would also look at the card between them as well. And if you had another player, you just add another card between those guys. And so that's kind of how it works, right? Every single round, you're going to start off with a player, and the first player token is going to be given to him or her. And you're going to take one of these guys here, along with as many betting chips as you like, and place it on the board in a location that you want. After that, everybody else is going to do the same thing. If they choose to put it on the same location as another player, they have to bet double or more than double of that current player's bid. And then they're going to give the other player back all of their bids as well as their crown, and at the end of that round they get to replace their thing that was taken off the board. And then after that, the next player mark will go on and so forth, and you're going to acquire points at the end of the game. let me show you how the turns work. Okay, so we have the whole setup for Cursed Court in a 4-player variant. Every single player has got a card dealt between them. So orange is going to be looking at these 2 cards, you got white looking at these 2, yellow looking at these 2, so on and so forth. You've also going to have this deck of cards where you flip over 1. This game is going to be played over a number of rounds, as well as, so what's called rounds are going to be called the seasons, and there's 4 of them, so 4 rounds. And then you have 3 years, which is 3 total sets of 4 rounds. And between each and every 4 rounds are going to be scoring points. Now, how does that work exactly? Well, orange is going to start the game. He's got the first player token here, and he is going to go ahead and look at his 2 cards. He's got the Duke and the Assassin, and everybody can look at these cards whenever they want, as long as it's next to them, but orange can never look at this one over here. So the Duke and the Assassin is a good one here, but orange also knows this one here, and all cards are in play and count towards the end of all of the seasons. So this is a good bet for him. Well, how would he bet these 3? Well, over here on Revolt, it shows all those 3, and that's going to be worth 3 points. So he could put those chips down and put this here. Now, he can put as many chips down as he wants, or no chips at all. Now, the reason why he put more chips is because in order for somebody else to beat him out of this location, they had to put at least double the chips that he currently put in. So they'd have to match at least double, but they could put more than that if they wanted to. And they could go ahead and take his spot if they wanted to do that. But he knows information that this player doesn't know. He knows that this assassin is actually in the game. So when we look at white's turn, white is going to go ahead and look at his or her 2 cards, and you got the Duke and you got the Jester over here, and then we know about this one too. So maybe he would think that, okay, he knows these 2, right? And he knows that this is probably a good bet here. So he's going to go ahead and chance it here. So he'll take as many chips as he wants, as well as one of his little crowns, and he'll place it there. And white's done, and then yellow's going to go, and of course yellow knows about the assassin, and this as well. And then he's also got this one here. So he's actually got all 3 of them. So he knows for a fact these are good. And so he could choose to duel out orange, which is probably what he would do. So he'd take at least double, and he could do more if he wanted, and he would bump orange out, putting in his little crown. And then finally red, we get to look at theirs. And red, we get to see these 2 things here, which are 2 assassins, right? So he knows for a fact there's gonna be 2 assassins, which is at least 2 points at the end of all 4 seasons here. So he might want to bet a couple, or he might want to try and bluff and pretend like there's not a lot of assassins and just put 1 there. So now everybody's had a round, had to turn this round, and it's going to be left with whoever has a piece they haven't played yet or they've got removed from the board. So this player gets to put one down. And he can change his bet however he wants, and he can put down, if he wants to do this over here, he can do that, as many as he wants. Maybe he just wants to put 3 down this time. After everybody is bet and put down pieces, then you're going to go to the next portion of the game, in which this piece over here is going to move to the next player, and you're going to flip over a new card. So that's going to give us this one here, which is the Merchant, and everybody is going to bet again. They're going to start placing bets across the board once again, where they think might be a good spot. Maybe they want to go, I don't know, in this area right here, and this is for all 4 of these guys here, and so on and so forth. After all 4 rounds have completed, and all 4 of the cards have been put down, you're then going to score points. And if we just look at the board as it is right now, you can see how easy it is to score points here. Obviously, there's no queen out of all of these cards here that we revealed, so this is going to score no points for orange. And this here there's 2, so we would score 2 points for red, and you just simply put it on 1, 2. And then we move this from the board. And we look at white over here. White's got 3 points because all 3 of these exist. And so does orange. She's got these 3 here. And, orange would actually be these 3 here, which is actually good. He's got that too. But so does yellow. So they all have 3 points there. And then after that, we would clear the board off. We'd take all the cards, shuffle them up again, deal them all out, and go on for another season, and then one more full round, and then another full round. And after that, whoever has the most points at the end is the winner of the game, Cursed Court. Alright, so what do I have to say about Cursed Court? Well, this game is phenomenal. I love this game. It's so much fun. The betting, the guessing, the tricking your opponents. You can also do a variant on the game where you actually put on the bottom one of these for every single player. It's a kind of a dud bet where you bet on a location that you know has nothing to do with anything. So that's another option as well. There's a couple other variants to the game, but it is fun just the way it is. It is fun. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 players. All of them are very enjoyable. I love these kind of betting games and they work so well. This one specifically. The components are wonderful. The feel of the chips are nice and hard plastic. Even these pieces over here are great. The only real one complaint I have about this game is one of the blue color, I was missing a crown when it came in the box. So one piece didn't come. So I was very sad about that. But I got a proxy I'm printing up right now anyway on the printer. However, the game is excellent. The art is really good. Everything is solid about this game as far as betting and bidding goes. If you like these kind of hidden bidding games that involve a little bit of bluffing and trying to deduce who has what cards and how they're betting based on where they think they're going to go. Oh, he bet really high on this location, so that's definitely a guarantee that he's actually got something there. I'm going to double bet him. And then you go, oh no, I was bluffing you, and just made you waste all of your betting chips on a single round. So now you've got no points because there's definitely not that card there. Oh man, there's some awesome and intense scenes in this game that we were playing throughout it where it's just like there's that one thing that's missing. And sometimes in a bigger game there's more cards going around, so everybody's scoring points but somebody's scoring big. And placing on those single location character cards can be huge points when you have three or four cards of that type. Just dropping down the last second there with these two, and maybe there's one face down as well. That's 5 points. That's more than any other white space on the board. And nobody saw it but you because you're the only person to know about both cards between you and your opponents. So good. So much fun. This is a game I'm definitely keeping in my collection. I will be playing. We've played it quite a few times since we've had it. We haven't had it that long. But I'm going to be bringing this out for parties. It's a great gateway game. It's very fun and very easy to teach. A wonderful game by Atlas Games. Cursed Court. I highly recommend this game. Definitely check it out. Alright guys, thanks for watching the Unfiltered Gamer board game review. If you like this game, go ahead and check it out in the description below. Cursed Court is super fun. Everybody's going to enjoy this game in my opinion. If you don't enjoy this game, something's wrong with you. But nevertheless, go ahead and check out the description below if you're interested in purchasing the game or just seeing what it's like. Also, go ahead and check out our website, unfilteredgamer.com. We've got tons of blog posts, giveaways, Kickstarter lists, and so on and so forth. Good stuff on there, as well as checking out my buddies, everythingboardgames.com and the Giveaway Geek, as well as checking out my friend Ferdinand, the Cardboard Stacker. He is a great guy, and he does a ton of he does a ton of stuff, just reviews and content, all this good stuff. And you should definitely check him out because he's highly underrated. He's really good at what he does. Alright guys, that's all I got for this one. And as usual, as always, I hope to see you next time.